What's going on, guys? It's Adam P and welcome back to what is going to be basically two videos in one. Second half of the video today will be Newcastle United transfer news. We're going to talk through everything that's came out on social media. First half of the video, now we are going to go through my Premier League predictions. Where do I think Newcastle will finish this season? Where do I think the other 19 teams will finish this season? Including Sunderland. Can't believe I'm saying it, but Sunderland are back in the Premier League. The return of one of the biggest derbies in the UK. They've spent a ridiculous amount of money on about 15 different players. So we're going to tell you my personal opinion on them and, of course, all of the other teams. For you guys watching this video, make sure I get down there, hit that subscribe button. For anyone that is an opposition fan watching this video, make sure I hit that subscribe button anyway, because I will be going to every single Newcastle United game. So, of course, I will have the chance to showcase and talk about your clubs as well. And at the end of the season, we're going to come back and react to it all. So make sure to join the 40% who are already on the journey as we kick off our season tomorrow at Villa Park. As for the Premier League table, no fancy graphics, no real editing going into this, because I don't think the Premier League deserves it. I think it's one of the most anti-competitive leagues there is out there. And while my order may be incorrect, that top four, no way any other team is getting in that top four. You can predict those four teams from a mile away. Bottom three, while one team may sneak in there, two of those teams you can predict from a mile away. And in amongst the table, I'm willing to bet most fans that are doing this Premier League prediction will get probably half of them correct, because that's how anti-competitive this league is. And with the exception of the middle-range teams, top teams and bottom teams, it's going to be so boring to watch because you just know what teams they're going to be. Starting off with the bottom three, Burnley 100% are going down. Haven't spent enough, in my opinion, especially compared to the other two teams since being promoted. And Burnley, anyway, are a team that is heavily dependent on their defence in the Championship. That defence is not doing much in the Premier League. The likes of Kyle Walker, although he's a bit older, is still a good sign for them. Borgia's a decent signing, but other than that, there's just not enough there for them to stay up. Brentford's lost huge players. Wissa going to Newcastle and Bruno going to Manchester. That's a real killer for them. I don't see them surviving. Wolves should have went down last season, in my opinion, but Cunha, of course, the game changer for them. And without Cunha now, they're destined to go down. Leeds will just about stay up. I think they have spent enough to be able to say that they've got a decent team, and especially Leeds at Ellen Road. Their home fans are quality. They've got some of the best home fans actually in the Premier League. They're going to be really good, and any team going there, it's always quite a boisterous and hostile crowd for a player to play in. So they do have an edge to them. And speaking as a Newcastle fan, Sean Longstaff's a smart sign for them. He's someone that's going to be stable. He's going to help them out. And I feel like with the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming in, while not an amazing signing, will be enough for them to stay up. The likes of Forest, I've got far down that table. I think especially with European football, they're going to struggle a lot. In my opinion, I wouldn't say they're a one-season wonder, but they're going to drop off a lot. I don't see them not finishing towards the bottom. Nowhere near enough to go down, but certainly not enough to be in the top half either. I think anywhere from 12th to 17th, I think you would put Forest. Bournemouth, I think, will struggle quite a bit as well. Again, Bournemouth's always a team that everyone seems to underestimate. I'm willing to bet every Premier League table ever, Bournemouth's always going to be right towards the bottom. They just always seem to have something about them, but always seem to just pick up points and have really good performances. But they're still up, just nothing special. Sunderland have got 15th. I think Sunderland, to be fair, have made a ridiculous amount of signs and some very good ones. Granit Xhaka is probably the signing for them. I really was impressed in their point of view, as much as I don't want to say it, that getting Granit Xhaka in. He is a legitimate good signing for them. And when you look at what Sunderland's done, quite similar to Nottingham Forest when they first came into the Premier League, they spent mental money on 19 different players, and while Forest got a points deduction for doing that the season afterwards, it ended up working because they then qualified for Europe. They took it on the chin, and Forest have been able to progress. And I feel like it might be a similar approach at Sunderland. Just make sure they stay up this season. Then next year they're going to push on and try and get European football. Don't see them going down, but I also believe fans are overestimating them. I've seen a lot of people put them in the top half or around 10th. Again, they're going to be humbled somewhat. The Premier League's a tough league. For any team coming up, you can't just steamroll through opposition teams. Some of them will do well, but just not as well as people reckon they will. I like so West Ham have impressed me loads. Fulham are a team that's always kind of in around there. Palace, I think if they keep Mark Gay, will look good. But again, looks like Mark Gay may go to Liverpool at the time of recording. So without Mark Gay, I think they'll drop off a little bit. Going into the top half, I back Everton to be the dark horse. I was impressed with Everton and David Moyes towards the back end of last season. Jack Greenish is a really good sign for them. And they're a team as well where new stadium, I'm starting to get a bit of ambition towards them, and you always criticise their ownership because they've been a team that hasn't had that ambition for quite a long period of time. There's something about them, and I think they'll do well this season. I think they will be a European contender, but just not quite enough to get there yet. I've got Manchester United here. With their attack, they're going to score a lot of goals. Sesko, Cunha and Bruno. We wanted all those signs, and we didn't get any of them. So Manchester United will score a lot of goals, but that back line is getting cooked. That back line will still concede a lot of goals. It's still all a mess behind the scenes, and I feel like Manchester United is a football club where you are simply papering over the cracks. The cracks are still there, and I think there will be somewhat leaking this season, but they will certainly do better than the 15th last year, so I don't think Manchester United fans have too much to worry about. I've got Newcastle in at 7. Big call. I put Newcastle in at 7 because I still reckon we're an unknown and there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. Big one being Isak. If Isak comes back into our team, which looks like currently he will do, if he comes back into our squad and he actually gives 100% and he plays to his best ability for the rest of this season, I reckon we could finish top 4, top 5. But in my opinion, it's going to be a bit of a half-arsed Isak. He'll probably give it a good amount during this season, but start of the season's not going to play. Towards the end of the season, he's going to want to leave. So he's going to have a player that for around 1/4, 1/3 of the season is not going to give 100%. But for the other 2/3, he's going to be good. Yet Johan Wissa is also going out to the African Cup. There's just too many questions for me to say at Newcastle at the minute. I've seen fans put us in 4th and I've seen fans put us in 10th. And that just sums up Newcastle United because we just are unknown. I think 7's fair, the same as last time when we got Champions League football, had that drop-off period, but 7's still decent. I reckon we could finish higher. Still too early to predict that though, so I want to be safe. Tottenham have got just about above Newcastle. Again, they're kind of similar-ish, got back into the Champions League. I think they will have a similar scenario where players are going to get injured. Tottenham's team is good, but playing 3 times a week, I think you probably will start to see them crumble a little bit. I've got them just about above Newcastle, but that one could certainly go back and forth. Top 5, Villa. I've got Villa in Champions League again. Big call, but I predicted Villa to do well, even with the PSR restrictions, even with the FFP restrictions. They're a team that's just coached well. Unai Emery's good. He's a really good manager, and they've got good football players. And Villa just seems to be a team that if Newcastle doesn't finish there, it's them. There's always 2 teams that like to leapfrog each other. I think Newcastle will have that little drop off this season. I think Villa will probably take advantage of it and finish above us. I've got them in a Champions League spot. And then, the top 4. The most boring top 4 ever. There's no way it's not those 4 teams. It's just what order you put them in. I put City in 4. Had a good window, but I've been really impressed with the teams above them. Chelsea especially. They've had a good window. They've got players in. Just won the World Cup. They've got quite a positive time at their football club, and I reckon they're going to kick on this season. Arsenal signing Gyökeres, that was what they needed. A striker in there. Unai Emery wanted that push. He wanted that striker. He's got that striker. This is a season he has to win something. Unai Emery is trophyless this season. Might get the chop. I think Arsenal does need to win something because you talk about this project for 5 years now and they haven't won any trophies, so they need to actually do something this year. Liverpool, no way they aren't win the Premier League title, surely. Even without Alexander Isak, they win the league. With Alexander Isak, you might as well just hand in the league title because they're never ever going to be getting beat by anyone with that squad. Their window is ridiculously good. They've made ridiculously good signings and they're going to make even more signings. So it's just almost unfair at this point. Their team is mental. Their team continues to be mental. But I stand by currently they do not get Alexander Isak. Newcastle will just about keep a hold of him, but that would not stop Liverpool from winning the Premier League title. As for the Newcastle United transfer news, not got an awful lot to get into. Big one for me though. Jacob Ramsey, number 41, confirmed. He has been spotted at the stadium. Looks like stadium tour, St James's Park tour. Fans, of course, up at level 7, taking photographs as the new player walks around. 41 on the back of his shirt, of course, getting his videos and photographs taken from the media team. They're not even trying to hide it. So I am glad to say we are back on track. The record is now 6-3. And my losing streak of guessing player shirt numbers before they join Newcastle United is over. I've got my confidence back. I've got the groove back. Johan Wissa, number 9. Here we go. I'm looking forward to that one. I do back him to be number 9. So, of course, we'll show you when the time is right. But speaking of Johan Wissa, that's the one Newcastle needs to wrap up. Once you wrap him up, you keep Isak or get a second striker. That's basically the rest of the transfer window. I don't think there'll be much more in our transfer window, to be truthful with you. Now, as for the Aston Villa game, now, Emiliano Martinez is suspended. Has a 1-game suspension. He will miss it against Newcastle. That's a massive boost for us because we're a team without Isak. Gordon's up front, and we're a team that struggles to score goals without that striker. So the fact they haven't got a number one goalkeeper, of course, one of the world's best goalkeepers, that's certainly a big boost for Newcastle. That's a big morale boost, and that's a big confidence boost for Gordon, who, as much as I like him, is a bit woeful in front of goals. Sometimes his shots just go all over the place. So certainly for a player who hasn't got the most confidence in front of goal, that's going to be a big one for him. That's exactly what Newcastle's been waiting for. There was something to go our way, something for us tomorrow to grab a hold of and to take it. And that's the opportunity for us. Got to look good against Aston Villa. Got to put a good performance in. I'm not expecting us to win the game, but I'm expecting us to play well. I'm expecting us to take it to them. I'm expecting us, considering the fact that Villa's also had a bit of a dodgy summer, I'm expecting us to give them a good game. I'm expecting a good one. So get into them, get stuck in, lads, and get 3 points, hopefully. But I will certainly take a draw now if you were to offer me that. But we should have that mentality. We should go there with the expectation to try and win the game. And of course we should. But my opinion, tomorrow, 2-1 either way. I'm going to give you my prediction now. I think it is a 2-1 either way. Just depends how things start. We've got a game without that striker. It's a real tricky one for Newcastle. But to be honest, in terms of the transfer news, that's about it. Not much to say in the past couple of hours. I've obviously made my video earlier on today, so make sure to check it out. You want to stay updated with the actual transfer news we've got through. But now, not many updates. Is what they give you a couple of brief updates regarding the game tomorrow and the obvious one about Jacob Ramsey. So enjoy it. Appreciate you guys watching. Take care, and we'll see you all tomorrow at Villa Park. Come on, the lads.